one of the great rabbis of the previous generation. His name is Rabbi Moshe Aaron Stern, and he had a yeshiva called the Communist Yeshiva. He was a great man, great scholar, very powerful force in many people's lives. So one time he decided to have to go on a fundraising trip for his yeshiva to Switzerland. He had some contacts there, so he goes to the local shul to pray the morning prayers. And he hears that there's a number of wealthy congregants in that particular service. So he goes there, but he's not satisfied with the prayer. They're kind of lax with the way they conduct themselves. Their timing, they start too late, they finish too late. So he says, you know what, if I'm here on a trip, I need all the assistance I can get. It'll come from another place. So he goes to another smaller, less well-established synagogue and prays there. He raises some money there. And then he goes back. On his way out, he runs into another collector who said, you know, this synagogue that I went to in the morning that you left, there's philanthropists there who are giving out some serious money. So he said, okay. He ends up going back there for mincha, the afternoon service. And indeed, he runs into one or two philanthropists who give him a decent amount of money. And he sits down there and he starts learning in between the afternoon and the evening service, the Marav service. And one of the philanthropists notices him and goes to the Gabbai of the synagogue, one of the regulars, and says, who is this person? He said, oh, that's Rabbi Moshe Aaron Stern from Jerusalem, one of the great rabbis of our generation. And he said, huh. He goes over to Rabbi Stern, this philanthropist, and says, you know, I'm here from New York on a business trip. I was entrusted an incredible amount of money to disperse to charity. But I didn't give out a lot this morning. I thought more people would be in need, so I gave out a certain amount, but I have a lot left. I have 1,000 francs, a very large amount in those days. Swiss francs. I have 1,000 Swiss francs left, and I'm going to give them to you. So in addition to the 400 francs that he originally got in the morning, he got this additional 1,000 francs. And Rabbi Stern realized that it's because he made perhaps the extra effort when it was inconvenient for him. He went to that other synagogue because he didn't like how the wealthier synagogue was praying. It didn't suit him. But he went back there. And if he was there in the morning, he would not have received this extra 1,000 for his yeshiva because he would have gotten whatever the philanthropist was still giving before he realized he had money left that he needed to give away at the end of the day. I think the lesson, it's a beautiful story, and the lesson is obvious. As we approach Passover, and we're getting into full Pesach mode, and the questions are coming in. Is this kosher? What about quinoa? Everyone all of a sudden realizes quinoa is their favorite food, even though they don't eat it the whole year. But on Pesach, everyone must eat quinoa. But joking aside, we go crazy in a good way, hopefully a healthy way. And I hope everyone has a chance to listen to the recording of Rabbi Cohen's preparing for Passover class Thursday night and next week on Thursday. But there's a way to embark upon a mitzvah with the proper level of effort and sincerity, like Rabbi Stern showed when he was collecting for his yeshiva. He didn't sacrifice his ideals, he held the same high standards, and didn't sacrifice those in order for the quick buck, so to speak. As we march toward Passover, let's try to remember that lesson of Rabbi Stern. Don't sacrifice yourself. Try not to take so many shortcuts. A few are okay. Take it easy. Do it correctly, with a smile as much as possible. And just as you finish that room, when your kid walks in with a bunch of crumbs and a whole piece of chocolate cake that goes everywhere, just smile, take a deep breath. It'll be okay. Shabbat Shalom.